Focus on my voice. Pretend it's an island out in the ocean. Can you see it?
Clark Kent in this film is very isolated in the beginning on purpose. He chooses to live that way. But I've heard that being an actor can actually be kind of an isolating career because you are on your own a lot.
Yes.
Have you had times in your life that have been very isolating for you?
Yeah, most of the time. As an actor, it's a very lonely existence. You meet these people who you work with, and you spend months with them, and they become family and stuff, and then you leave them behind, and then you sort of spend time by yourself trying to get the next job, and especially if you don't have a home base and a group of friends who you've all grown up with all the time.
Right.
I've definitely had a strong sense of isolation in my career, but that's all part and parcel, and I've got to play it in this.
I mean, I felt isolated when I was a child, and I didn't necessarily fit in high school. I felt very awkward, and I still feel completely awkward and like weird in my body sometimes, and I'm hoping that's going to go away, but I've just embraced it as reality.
Especially in this movie, I actually made the decision to spend a lot of time by myself. And,
oh, really?
You know, yeah, and you know, to come to America and to speak a second language, and it is isolating itself sometimes. And I chose to spend a lot of time by myself to become her.
Yeah, I do feel isolated a lot, although I will say, I mean, I'm fortunate because my wife is my producing partner, so I do get a lot of time with her, and I have put my son, Eli, I put him in a couple of the movies just so I could hang out with him a little bit more. So that's fun too.
I have so many questions. Where do I come from?
There's a point in this film where a priest tells Clark Kent, sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. So can you tell me about, in your own career, when you've had to take a leap of faith?
Pretty much every time you got turned down from a job, it's a leap of faith. It's going, you know what, just stick in, because although it may be for the wrong reasons you lost a job, it may be for the right reasons, whatever the case is, just stick in there.
Moving out to LA for me was a leap of faith. I was very secure in my dinner theater world. I loved it, and I just was like, I think there's something else out there for me, and I just have to kind of go for it. And there's definitely been times within my career that I've had to just do things that I didn't think I was strong enough to do, or say no to something and just hope that something else was out there.
As an actor, you never know what's coming next, and sometimes you can't even pay your rent. So to say no sometimes in life, especially as an actor, is very, very difficult.
Making movies is some version of alchemy, you know? You can have all the right elements in place and, you know, all the money that the director needs and all that sort of stuff, and then the movie still turns out to be shit, you know? So and sometimes the pedigree of somebody doesn't necessarily tell you how bad they can be or how good they can be. Being honest, Zack's pedigree to this point didn't tell me that he could make a movie like this.
I think as a director, you do it every time you make a movie, because you're really exposing yourself in a lot of ways, you know, to a very large amount of people. And I think that leap of faith has to come from trusting yourself, trusting the material, but a lot of time you just have to say, okay, let's give it a shot.
The whole fact that I even started acting to begin with was a leap of faith. There's not a very high success ratio in the field. Most people struggle with it. There's very few people that actually get to be in a Superman movie, you know.
You're the answer, son. You're the answer to Are We Alone in the Universe?